Hi everyone. This is the fourth and final video in these demos. And in this video, I'm going to take you through a couple of practice cases, just to give you a sense of what it feels like to capture the data and how to translate a Bursary story into the data of this tool. So first of all, we have a new incidence, and for any new incidence, we put a 1. The incidence number, remember, is just a continuous count of numbers that go down like that. So for every incidence we enter, we don't want to have the incidence numbered. Okay, then we have the unique person number. So remember that if one person does 2 incidences, their number will appear twice. And then we have the ultimate or latest registration. So let's begin with the first entry on the list. The first entry on the list, we will fill in her personal details. Okay. Now, she started her studies in 2014, and she was awarded her bursary in her first year of study. She did a Bachelor of Art degree at UCT. Okay. So UCT. Okay. Her specialization was in media studies. We know that this is an NQF7 degree. Now, also, we can see from this that, we know from looking at her records that this candidate graduated in 2016. So this is a successful outcome of 2016. And we would enter that then in the graduation column and in the NQF7 column. The prescribed minimum time for this degree is 3 years. And then what we would want to do is we would want to capture that she was current in 2014, 15, and 16. And from then on, we would capture her as graduated. Now, it is worth noting that the graduation year captured here must always be the final year of study. So this is the last academic year, the year that they completed their academic requirement. But that year, in 2016, they were still current. So just a slight distinction there that, the status column goes up to and including their final year of study, they would be captured as current. But that is actually their graduation year, even if their graduation ceremony may only have taken place the next year. And finally, this candidate had a clear run, so we capture a pass, and a pass. And that is it. That record will now be loaded into the tool. Forgive me. We need to add their unique person number. And this is her ultimate or latest registration. I don't have a record at this stage of her doing another degree. Okay. All right, taking another candidate. Now, this candidate begins her studies in 2019. She is awarded in her first year of study. So we captured 2019 as both her start and award year. She's at Wits, studying a Bachelor of Commerce in Accounting. This is obviously a apologies, my screen sharing seemed to have failed for a moment there. So while this candidate is studying in 2019, we will capture her as being current in 2019. When we update again in 2020, she's still current because she passed everything. And same with 2021. What happens with this candidate next is she graduates, but only in 2022. So come the end of 2022, we capture that she has graduated. Okay. And we capture as well that she is graduated in the NQF7 column. Now, what is interesting about this candidate is that they have taken an extra year. Okay. Also bearing in mind, this is an NQF7 degree. It is a 3-year degree that they finished in 4 years. But we don't, no special concession was made, extended for discretionary. This candidate never actually failed a year. For all intents and purposes, it's a very normal pathway through study. They just happen to complete in N+1. Okay. Passed everything right up to 2022. All right. Now, at the time when we capture the information, this is this candidate's ultimate or latest registration. But then 2023 rolls in, and this candidate tells us that they've been accepted and they're registered for an honors degree. So they'll be registering for another year. So again, we will repeat the unique person number because this is an incidence relating to this person, okay, whose person number is 2. All right. But we will now change the first incidence to a 0 over there, making this one a 1, because that is now her ultimate or latest registration. This is going to be taking place in 2023. And bearing in mind, it's an incidence that even though this candidate was originally awarded in 2019 for this incidence, they're awarded in 2023 and they're starting in 2023. And honors year is NQF8. And then the rest is the same. You'll probably want to make this Bachelor of Commerce Honors just to mark it, or however you want to. But obviously we are still busy with the years, so we don't have an outcome as yet. It takes 1 year to finish this degree, and this candidate is still current in 2023. So we'll mark that as current. And finally, 2023 is not over yet. So we will come back and update that pass rate at the end of the year when we know whether or not the candidate has passed. Okay, looking at another case, let's take James Brown, who is doing a medical degree. Please again bear in mind that this is market data at Stellenbosch University. So this candidate started their studies in 2011, so we would load 2011 there. But they were only awarded their bursary in 2014. Now, as you know, medicine is a NQF8 degree. This candidate is at Stellenbosch University, and they're doing an MB-CHB, or however you want to code it, but please bear in mind that you'll want to keep it relatively consistent. I know that at some universities it's MB-CHB, at others it's in the other one. I would encourage you to come up with a consistent coding, because when you want to classify these things, you'll want to be able to group them all as one. You could just call it medicine, and then specialization. Faculty would be medical, I believe, is Penny's term. There we go. Okay. And now we will go through and track their pathway through their studies. So medical degree is 6 years as prescribed minimum time. Now, when we're looking at this person's record, we will want to ascertain whether they took any additional time. Did they take an extended program? At any stage, did we extend the marks at our discretion? Did they change degree? In this case, none of those things apply. This candidate completed in 2017, and it is an NQF8 degree that they completed in 2017. So again, this candidate has taken an extra year because they began in 2011. They were only awarded in 2014, so we will want to go from there only in the status column. They graduated in 2017, so that's the last year that they were current. And they passed. We'll go and have a look at their pass rates. They passed every year for 7 years, taking an extra year to complete. So we'll want to capture pass rate from their academic start year, not their award year, until they graduated in 2017. So this candidate, remember how we define pass rate is if they are progressed to the next year of study, or if they're not made to sort of repeat that year of study. So it is possible to achieve straight passes, failing the odd non-major course here or there. And this tool allows for all of these kinds of discrepancies and considerations while still adhering to the Bursary Forum's definitions. Okay, let's take another one. Let's take a Bachelor of Business Science degree. So again, Licencia, this is mock data. We're going to call this person 4. Now, this is the latest incidence of study. A Bachelor of Business Science degree is an NQF 8 degree, which includes an honors, but that honors falls within a single registration. So we do not count this as 2 separate incidences, as we would the Bachelor of Commerce with its honors above. That entails a registration to outcome for the Bachelor of Commerce and a registration to outcome for the honors degree. This works a little bit differently. So we call this at CareerWise the first degree principle. So this candidate went to UCT. This is also a commerce degree. According to the record I have, Licencia started in 2018 and was also awarded in 2018. So they started in 2018. They were awarded their bursary in 2018. And the candidate, looking at the record, failed their second year. So this is a 4-year degree. Okay, we know that much. So they began in 2018 and were current. They were also current in 2019, but in 2019, they failed. So we will say pass there, fail there. After that, they struggled for a little bit, but managed to pass 2020, 2021, and 2022. They completed. So once again, we never withdrew the funding. We realized that that candidate would get through, but at the same time, we didn't actually extend it discretionary. I wouldn't have checked that box. It's not as if we were anticipating that failure and we made the discretionary decision to continue funding. We did just not withhold funding. So there you have it. It was a 4-year degree that they only ended up completing in 2022. So at the end of 2022, we would capture that as the graduation year. And there you go. I think I'll pause there, but I'm sure that in the presentation of this tool at the forum meeting, you'll be presented with many other examples. A few pitfalls that I've noted from collecting is be careful with the law degrees. They can differ quite substantially. Stick to the rule of if it's a separate registration to outcome, it's a separate incidence. Also, do just consider the different NQF levels. For example, there's a difference between a Bachelor of Engineering and a Bachelor of Science in Engineering, one of which is a continuous 4-year degree, and the other one, which you would ordinarily do honors, but it is a separate incidence of study. I would also encourage that you check the NQF levels, have a good sort of database of those from which you can draw from. But otherwise, it becomes very straightforward the more you do it. I would be happy to support people in the initiative of filling out this tool. But I wish you all the best of luck, and I hope that this tool is useful in supporting the forum to present across the same consistent set of KPIs and eventually to hold the government to account and potentially attract more money into this sector, which achieves excellent results. Thank you and good night.